what would I choose? E-Hex or P-Hex? It's the same thing, man.
Black Rock. Let's do this shit.
The hex!
The hex!
Hello.
The actual
Oh,
hex.
look at the
Welcome.
double beers going on already. Look
my
at
God,
this.
there's
Double
should be
beers, man.
The
Let's
E-Hex,
go.
the P-Hex beer.
Ladies and gentlemen,
it's
before
right
we
here.
even begin, DJ, did you ever
Yes.
get the feeling like you've already won before you even get up to the racing blocks? We got a full contingent here. We got Famous. We got a Wild SJ. How the hex could this thing go off not perfectly and beautifully?
Unbelievable. We got 40 people watching already. And before we go into things, let me just say, don't sleep on What the Hex. Last week's show on Thursday, we called the BlackRock news right when it happened. We looked at the Bitcoin rainbow. And what we have this week is pumping. We even talked about the Titanic. So
No
we
way.
bring you the news that really matter. Welcome, guys. We got the fantastic Famous in the house. And a Wild
DJ Cryptomatic.
Yes.
DJ Cryptomatic, while we're on the issue of the Titanic, we don't take these things lightly.
No.
Whoa, unfuck your shit, bro.
Who's
Who
that?
is this? It's a process of elimination.
Who was that?
Who was that?
Oh my God. It's a multinational.
All right. Anyway, look, we don't take this whole, trapped people in a submersible
That must be
lightly. I don't mean to bring the show down even before we start to get it up, but I gotta say that a moment of silence for the poor passengers of the submersible that was on their way to the Titanic and have not been heard or seen of since.
There's still hope, but it's dwindling by the hour. They
ran out of oxygen about 6 hours ago, so I'm sure that the
for
hope
real?
is, and they can't undo the hatch even. So.
Yeah.
And it's 8 hours and it's 8 hours up. So
8 hours up. Okay, yeah.
would you get into? Plus, they're probably panicking, so they're exploiting more CO2, taking in more oxygen, doing slower breaths. So,
but what the experts believe though is that it was a cataclysmic failure, and the pressure. It was an implosion situation, so they were gone in a split second. They didn't suffer. That's what they now believe. So, enough about that. Let's get this thing re-rolling, shall we?
Shall we start over?
Yeah. What the heck? Hi, Cryptomatic. How you doing?
Hey, wow, Daniel Gomez.
no, but this shows that we have hearts. It shows we have heart,
Yeah.
right? So it shows we have a heart. So it's good for that. It's good. At the end of the day, it is what it is, man. There's always something unfortunately bad that happens, but that means that something good's gonna happen. So you got to
Just
think
fuels
positive. I
these
think
old pirate tales, don't dive near the Titanic, and just these. That is
the
bad
folks there, but it's
karma.
kind of like the flight. But after every crash on a plane, like after watching National Geographic in Europe, you always have these like crashes every Thursday night at 10:30, which I love the show. And what I've learned from it is basically every time it crashes, they learn from it, right, and it makes it more secure the next time. So, unfortunately, it's sad to always, lose a loved one or have people lose their loved ones. But hopefully we will learn from it and there will be a life saved in the future from that. I think that's the positive to take from it.
learned.
No
and
game controllers next time.
Yeah,
Well-
that's crazy. I was buzzing. I was like, is that PS1
PlayStation.
controller?
That's the way that they all control those large or the smaller submersibles anyway. But that's not a big deal. But on your point,
No more batteries. No more batteries.
Yeah. they're shaking it. They're like licking it. They're putting the battery back in. No. Enough about that.
Where's
crap.
the plug?
Yeah. No. But to your point about learning from tragedies, the Aloha plane that I think in the 80s or early 90s it exploded in Hawaii. They learned that just the shape of the windows from square changing it to round was the culprit. So square windows on planes, no good. Round windows, okay. So there were lives saved as a result of that tragedy. So you're right. Good things happen. Anyway, DJ.
Welcome to the show, guys. I just want to say hi to the chat real quick. We got Daniel Gomez first, Hex and SB second, and Nom Nom third. Welcome, you guys. Hex on Air is here. Man, we got a live crowd. We got 50 people watching already. Matter of fact, 60 people. Paul Sachs in here. Crispy Man is in the chat. Famous, you're drawing the crowds. DJ Alpha Music checking in. Melf Tony, of course. Ash is here. Salute. Romanian Dan. There you go. That's your boy, right?
We all know.
Yeah,
we all know they came for SJ.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
I can't
is
on.
That is
That's
really
how I was like, what do you mean me, man? Like, what do you mean me? Like, come on.
Lexi Quinn is here.
Putting up my ego here.
Man. No, can I just ask you, what is your your ethnic background? Because you always say you're like a Canadian.
Italian.
What's my
Like,
ethnic background? Okay, so let's
like
just put it like
the
this.
Canadians I know is like Hex de Morgan, or I was watching a lot of the ice road truckers back in the day. They don't talk like you. They're like, hey, we're also fucking nice, man. But you don't talk like that. I get a bit of an Italian vibe, isn't that?
Yeah, of course. That's for sure in the blood. I came out and I was created by Italians. I can promise you that. So my background basically is I'm born in Canada, born and raised in Montreal, Quebec. And I am basically a descendant of an Italian descent. So I'm able to get my European citizenship by blood. It's called linguinis sanguis. So so let's just put why I'm not in Canada, first of all.
Yes.
So pre-COVID, life was amazing. Everything, like the finance was amazing, the life was amazing, freedom was amazing, everything that was on the book for the plan was amazing. So COVID struck, and there was a need to figure out a way to get out. So I was like, well, I never wanted my European passport because my Canadian passport always granted me better options when I wanted to go travel, right? I never thought of leaving Canada, living somewhere else. I was like, no, I like it here. I purchased my home, my first apartment, everything was going good. And then the freedom aspect, right? Especially being Italian, coming from Latin descent, you want to be free and do what you want to do. And I wasn't granted that freedom, and I was withheld a lot of blah, 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 blah. I don't want to get into that, but, I wasn't very happy. So I said, you know what, let me get this Italian passport. Let me go see one of my best friends who lives in Portugal and says that life's amazing there. Fast forward, now we're here. So currently I live in Portugal. I'm a resident in Portugal. Mm-hmm. We do business in Portugal. We do property management, construction, quote unquote, because we renovate our own places. And we also have our real estate agency where we focus on the Algarve. The Algarve is the southern part of Portugal. And currently I'm right now in Spain in our vacation home in order to figure out how to get into the Costa del Sol part, or what they call it here, the Andalusia region. And I'm trying to see, for rentals, because it's a longer season. Portugal is very beautiful, but unfortunately where I'm from in Portimao, it kind of gets a bit dead in the summer.
Excuse me,
but that doesn't say that life is not good.
Hold on a second. Famous. Elmire is Portuguese. Elmire is in the south part of the screen. Is Elmire and Algarve?
Você vienes de qual parte de Portugal?
Oh.
Do centro.
The centro. No, so he's not far. I would say he's like 2 hours, an hour and a half from the center, I think, from me. If he
Yeah,
goes
two
from
and a
you and you
half.
take the road, 2.5. Okay,
Yeah,
so you're
the highway. 2.5, 3
okay.
hours maximum. Yeah, 2.5.
Oh, it's perfect. Are you near Sintra?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're near another one of the Hexicans, Fellas. Fellas, he's on the Spaces also. He's in Sintra. There's actually there's people in Lagos. There's Hexicans in Lagos. There's actually a Hexican. Shouts out to him. Tell him he lives 2 blocks down from me. I still haven't grabbed a beer with him. I don't know why, but
Are you talking about Fellas?
I own one. No, Fellas is in Sintra. But then there's another guy, Tell M, if you go check him out on Twitter. Tell M, he's a Hexican, very
Yeah,
pronounced.
hold on.
He hits the haters.
Hang on a second. Have you seen Fellas's show? It's called The Fellas Show, and tell them about it.
Huh? Fellas has a show?
No, you,
Yeah. Okay. Continue, please.
Papu is a cunning
Fellas.
linguist, and
Boomer joke, a cunning linguist. Yes.
Yeah, I guess it is.
But have you considered? I mean, Portugal is obviously attractive at the moment for crypto tax reasons. But have you not, with that Italian background, considered moving to Italy actually? Because 43OG, from the Down Under crew, he told me that there's also for like, if you have a certain kind of wealth, there is apparently a good deal to be had also moving to Italy.
Yeah, I could explain that. So in Italy, since 2019, they actually allowed. So if you make whatever amount of money, you only need to pay $100,000 in income tax, or 10%. So then
That's
also
for life.
it's if you make $2 million, all you have to do is pay $100,000 income tax.
But for life or for a certain amount of time.
Wild
No,
SJ is jaywalking.
year.
A wild
Let's say for
SJ
every
walker.
No. What I'm saying is,
SJ Walker.
if that
SJ
if that tax benefit lasts for their entire life or only as a limited time. Because in Portugal,
I can't.
in Portugal you have close to the same benefit, but it only lasts for 10 years.
I don't know about that. There's also a flat tax of 25% on your crypto that they have acknowledged crypto, and they say, okay, if you make crypto, you just take this amount of tax and you get taxed that much. I think it's on capital gains. I would have to ask someone in Italy. Now, for what I do in life, first of all, the amount of money.
Look at that! Look! Wait, hold on. SJ, show that. All right, look at that.
Nice.
Was it already there?
Tagged the poll. Yeah, was that already there?
From me a couple days ago.
Okay, all right.
Guerrilla marketing. There we go.
She should have lied.
But hey, it's still there. I did that last week.
It wasn't me.
So.
Nice. Has longevity.
Nice.
Much for dodging the cameras. Yeah. But have you considered Italy, or have you been actually since you're in Europe?
I have been. I have been to Italy. It's just first of all, obviously, moving to another country, removing yourself from where you're already, your habits already are. It is a hard movement. So because my friend was already there, because he had already been living there, I think at the time it was 5 years. He already had that experience. He already knew everything. He already understood the area. He's like, listen, I'm going to start doing this. Do you want to do that? And I said, okay, let's do it. Now, I wanted to do it remotely at first. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'll invest. I'll be with you and I'll stay in Canada. And we stay in touch anyways because it's a long relationship where he wasn't able to stay in Canada. He had to work and be always in Germany and the United States. So we always kept in touch as really good friends because I was like, man, he's all alone, poor guy. And he ended up selling me the dream. And I said, you know what, fuck this. After COVID, I said, I'm doing whatever to come back. Now, it took almost 2 years for me to get my Italian passport. So in between those 2 years, I was on and off. I was always, limiting my 90 days and arranging myself to be 90 days during the summer season and then so on and so forth and go back to Canada. But now I'm fully resident and now I have to get used to the Portuguese way of making money, learning the taxes. But I'm just super happy off the bat because I'm probably in my industry never gonna get taxed ever again what I was getting taxed for.
Excellent. Hey, Famous, let me congratulate you, and I want to hear more about this stuff. We got your foundation down, but man, you are the founder of a very, very useful site. You are the impetus, the guiding candle in Twitter Spaces. Let's talk about that for a second. You went and you started the Twitter Spaces for the Hex and Pulse community like a champ, like a boss. You put it out there, and you got like hundreds of people followed you, and it became a thing, right?
Yeah.
And and I want to know more about that. What started the whole thing, other than the hatred for my terrible behavior as an admin and Elmeyer's terrible behavior as an admin? You couldn't win under our oppression. You decided to launch out and have a free speech for all, and it succeeded excellently. Yeah. But what prompted you, and did you think that you were going to be so successful at it?
No, I didn't think I was going to be very successful at it. So it was a mixture of the NFT community being so stupid and coming into your chat in the Pulse chain telegrams, and it was the lack of being able to exploit your intelligence or the intelligence of who was willing to explain more than the simple, no, listen, if you guys are not going to listen to the beginning and not like, I loved what you did. Don't get me wrong. What got me mad was everyone kept coming up as if like, as soon as you would be finished, the guy just came in the chat and just came up and said, "Oh yeah, I got a question." It was like pure
the same one.
But it's like as if new guy came in, didn't listen to anything, couldn't hear what you said before, and then it's just like a VHS just. And, you were just, and then the VHS going back was basically you going, no, listen, okay, listen, and you would have to repeat, and then it's like a rewind, and then boom, and it would come back, and I'd be like, bro, this is such a waste of time for these poor guys. Let me create a place where at first I wanted it to be a place where you could discuss anything about what was Hex. So I was really fascinated by Hex and how the Hex community was thriving and wanted to learn. I didn't necessarily think that it was the smartest thing ever because throughout my experience, I saw little cracks in the walls. And I was like, yo, I can't believe they're doing this. But anyways, I don't want to talk about that here. But I just felt like, the mixture of the intelligence that we all seek, right? We all seek the truth. We all want the actual knowledge which the blockchain and blockchains provide you, right? And the mixture of Richard not giving a fuck, and my mixture of not giving a fuck, and the fact that me and Richard are from a place of time, an era of crypto where no emotions are basically put in, and even though sometimes you do see that we have emotion, but what we try to thrive is the ability for you to understand it as we understand it, not for us to influence you so you could be like, oh, I'll listen to you. No. Go and get the information. So I created that to give you guys a break, but then it became something bigger where I saw people were looking for a place to be accepted and explain their feelings and explain how they felt or what they're going through during a day. And it became more personal. And then from that, I adjusted myself to consequential actions that most of the leaders in the group would do, because it's not just me. Like, I know a lot of people say I started it, but a lot of people are still there and they're still helping the community, even though they didn't. They're a piece of them is part of it, just like Papa Boner is part of it. And when he came in, we all open arms, like, yo, man, you want the floor? It's all yours. Like, like you could talk about security all you want, and you don't have to worry about getting banned or losing your admin, or you know what I mean? Like, but also the biggest thing was I wanted people to feel the ability to quit whenever they wanted. And it's not up to me to quit. So I never cut people off unless they were sexist, racist, or just blatantly useless to the conversation, like as if they're just making sound effects. You know what I mean? I never cut someone off because they had an opinion, even about me, even though I would go crazy on them. But I tried to make it more decentralized, right? It's the blockchain. It's we're here in the metaverse, and what are you gonna do? You can't block my address. If you're gonna block, just don't look at me. Just don't be part of this. And Twitter sucks, so I can't really run Twitter Spaces the way I want to. But we've had a good run.
It's
We've
good
had
to
a good
know.
run.
It's good to know that you had a place for Papa there because we were almost throwing him away from the chat. It's good to know.
It was
he has a place
orphaned.
there.
But how do you come up with the patience sometimes? That's what bugs me. Like I listened to you, I want to say it was 3 weeks ago, like after maybe a week after Pulse Chain had launched, and there was some fucking guy came up and he asked like a super simple thing, and how to provide liquidity there on PulseX, or how to make your PulseX token show up in the MetaMask. It was like something really simple, and then you, in your beautiful Brooklyn, New York Italian, you told him, "What? You don't know how to do that?" And I cracked up laughing. I'm like, "Oh my god, here we go."
Well,
You will
because some
tell
people,
right?
some
to do
people,
your own
yeah, but some
research.
people, 100%, because I've seen them, and like I know the avatars, I know the names. I click on people, I do the research,
Yeah.
and it's like some people I'm gonna tell them like, where were you this whole time? Like, what do you mean?
Get 2 years to learn how MetaMask works.
You know what I mean? We have 16 fucking websites. I fucking condensed it into one. Like I have 4 websites, by the way, but yeah. One of the best ones is hexdirect.com. I haven't updated it in weeks, so I won't chill it.
We have a crime.
no.
A crime is being videoed now.
A live one.
Live crime.
What crime?
Look at that. She's vandalizing a
King of staples.
pole.
Someone
Oh, and
call
she has
the
a gun.
cops.
And she has a gun.
Call
She
the
has a
cops.
staple gun. Wow. Staple
Nail
gun.
gun.
911.
This
Hello,
is
how can I help
this
you?
is
Nice.
this is basically one day in the life of Wild SJ.
Wild
Yeah.
SJ, yes.
That's grassroots marketing. Love it.
Very nice.
No, but tell us
good
about
for
your
her,
websites,
man.
Famous,
Good for
because
you,
from like not having to answer the same stuff over and over and over again, you created the websites with the information. Is that correct? And does that help?
So the website was for the chats. So the websites were for the people because we kept repeating, all the same shit all the time.
Yeah.
This. So I was like, let's just because I also saw the pattern of, okay, we're 30 people. I was hoping that we were going to get more, but unfortunately, the community is they're real mama hens. They're what are they called? Like they're like, no, I need bubble wrap on my child. Leave me alone. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just,
Mother hen.
and that's the next phase, right? Mother hens,
Helicopter.
exactly. Thank you. So,
Helicopter mom.
but it's going to change. I think until September it's going to change, and people are going to get out of their shell. But it's a process in crypto. But yeah, the chat was basically created to, sorry, not the chat. My websites were created to allow people to have an easier access, one mobile onboarding, and also for you as a Hexican when you onboard. That was the main first goal, was when you are onboarding, imagine how many tabs you need to tell someone, right? In order to continue. Let's say you, like, not the guy who's like, yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll let you know next time. No, the guy who's actually interested. He's like, oh, really? Oh, let me see the charts. Let me see how this works. That's very rare. But when it happens, you can't lose that interest. And we do lose the interest when we spend minutes trying to figure out which website, where did I get the website? I have to go on my Twitter. Oh shit, it was Richard that tweeted it. No, just go on the website. It's all there. Everything is available. You all have it organized. So like that, the onboarding process is easier. And that should have been an easier process for us to change people's views on how this works, right? How crypto works, not just X.
How technical are you, Famous? I really wanted to know. Did you do that website all yourself? Did you aggregate everything?
Yeah. All myself, WordPress. So I love how you said that. So it's the easiest thing you could do, right? So I literally did one step above. It's a bit harder than Wix, just to shit on people who actually do websites and coders that, like say like, give me donations and like I'll make you a shitty ass website that doesn't work, and it's kind of like the main one, with links to people that shill shit.
Oh, look at the
coins
tour
and,
bus.
I guess
tour bus.
But I don't want to get into that. But it's just, I just want to show people like you could do this if you have time. You want to build you want to build traffic towards Hex. Well, one more website that I could put on my website that has links, we could all connect everything because the web is all connected. And I guess it's my younger version of social marketing, because I always saw Vine and YouTube very like interconnected, like the same way like on your on this channel, if we go on the channel, you'll see at the bottom everyone you guys support, right? And it'll say, oh, like recommended, channels, and that's what websites should do, basically. Hex.com/links is a very good fucking website. Hex.com is scrap because everyone should have what Hex.com on the front page has. GoHex.com is a different thing. But I just feel like it needs to change. It just needs to get better. Because if I could do this and other people could do this, we need to step it up a bit. But I understand Paul's chain.
By the way, if just in case anybody doesn't know in the chat, we're talking about hexdirect.com. Hexdirect.com. You should check it out. It's an aggregation of all of it's kind of like Pulse Noob or that type of thing. Hex Noob. Right.
I really like Hex Noob.
Yeah. I liked it too.
Hex Noob was a nice one.
But this is an altogether new and very sticky type of aggregator for knowledge, for onboarding, for finding all your resources. And also, Famous, if you'll just indulge me for a moment while somebody gets their humming under control. I think that we are at the halfway mark of the show, and it's time to take a little break for a word from our non-sponsor, because this project would never in any way sponsor any goddamn thing on any goddamn show for any slots, for anything. But I'm just doing it because it's my project. Get ready to hit it, DJ Crypto.
Shall we play a game? Excellent. It's been a long time. Can you explain the removal of your user account on June 23rd, 1973?
They must have already died. People sometimes make mistakes.
Yes, they do. Shall we play a game?
Let's play full thermonuclear war.
It's a place where we don't have to repeat our damn selves one more time. Oh, you got some security questions? Go to b9.xyz. You got any kind of complaints or something you want to see something to be reviewed by a real dev? Want to know what these influencers are talking about, whether or not X, Y, and Z influencers agree with something or think that something in your wallet that appeared there is okay to touch? Go to B9. And that's it. What do you think,
live? Is it live?
It's not live. Coming soon. It's about to be live. We're just putting on the finishing touches.
I was just about to go on. I was gonna what?
It's okay. No. Go right ahead. Take a look at the.
Send me the logo. Send me the logo. I'm gonna, as soon as I get back to Portugal, I'm gonna edit.
Thank you.
I can put you guys in. Yeah, no problem.
Thanks a lot.
Hexdirect.com. Yeah. Link is down below for hexdirect.com, by the way. And also, I have a question. Where with the like we have covered the spaces where you're very active at and the websites. Where do you think going forward is how the community should pivot the marketing efforts? And what is your opinion? Like, shall we continue the spaces? I know Funding Gym does a lot there with the spaces too. Like, what is your opinion on where the Hexicans should concentrate their marketing efforts going forward?
So I got shit. This is a good question. So I got it as a Hexican. I have an answer as a Hexican. I have an answer as a Kryptonian, and I have an answer as Famous. You guys choose, or you want all three?
I want all three whipped up in a blender.
Got 100 people watching. Smash the likes, guys.
So as a Hexican, I would first and foremost say to continue the same thing we've been doing, which is to show true crypto, true DeFi, and to continue our hard-headed ways because it's worked this far. I think people forget that the problems was the solution. So our problems, even though people keep telling us what our problems is the solution. That's what they don't understand. That's why they're not us. Now, as a Kryptonian, or more / business person, I would say which one are you asking about? Are we talking about Hex? Are we talking about Pulse? Are we talking about Pulse X? Are we talking about the incentive token? Are we talking about the the derivatives of Hex? Are we talking about what complements Hex? What's complementing PLS? There's just so many factors.
I figured out the background noise. Famous, is your phone anywhere near your are you shooting from your phone or what?
No, absolutely not. My phones are closed. Is it going Bing?
Yeah, I know. No. Take your phone and take it away from your video because we're getting the feedback from that. It's trying to hit the tower and it's going. That's a tower type of. Hey, are you there? And the tower says,
yeah, I was on the table.
Yeah. Get it off the table. Thanks. Thank you. Okay. Continue.
So is it better now?
We'll see. I think so.
Okay. Yeah. So my answer would be to specifically, who do you want to focus, right? So Pulse is you focus people that are interested in blockchains, and Hex is more focused towards people that are looking for store of value, and Pulse X would be more towards liquidity dexes. People want to be liquid. They want to do different, provide different. People with projects basically because they want to provide liquidity. They want to show that I'm on this place, right? That's why people choose Uniswap and not Sushi or Pancake, or they try to choose the one that offers their clients the best option. But we would need to specific pinpoint certain communities that focus on that, and that would be the next one. Now, as Famous, I would say we have to fucking change the way we are because it sucks. Right now we suck. The whole community went dry. The people took their money, they left. I guess it's summer. I personally haven't done shit because I'm busy. I told people I'd be busy, but it's different. I still try to stay in tune, but I've warned people as soon as it drops, the number one thing is that we needed to maintain bonding of value. Now, bonding of value means what? What's available on one side and the other. Now, if people understand this, and this is really what they don't tell you because they don't fucking know, is that the first week when shit was going really well, what actually was going well? We actually had liquidity on both sides. People were doing things on both sides. We had the ability to say that the value is that we're working in coherence. That has never been done before. And we were just touching the surface, and we go and understand that the system is not as liquid as we think it is. So I think that right now we're in a phase where we need to redistribute the amount of percentage that Pulse is being utilized, meaning that if only certain amount of people have so much of it, well, they need to get more. They want more, right? Because they're like, I'm the big boy. But they need to understand that we need to gain, or else it's not going to be fair. So we need to allow the waves to just wave on. Like it's not going to stop at any moment. When you drop a pebble in water, the reaction of the water is not going to stop. You could stop it. You could put something in the water and then deteriorate the waves, but the waves are going to happen regardless. So right now, all we could do is contain the waves. And long story short, because I know Papa hates it when I rant, but long story short, as Famous, I really do think
on the contrary, I love this. Go, Sydney.
People need to understand 2 years, right? Now we need to understand, there's a reason why I called every single month the last 4 times. I called the 48K last fake pump all the way back down, and I called it all the way back down and said, yo, this is the point at this time of the year, and that was done. And then we also called the liquidity. I called everything that was going to happen on Pulse Chain. We said mid-May, whatever. Anyways, I don't want to get into it. That's just for the flexing. But at the end of the day, I really think that right now crypto is in a movement. And it's really, people have to understand this. If this BlackRock shit is going to happen, there's 2 waves, right? One is you should be scared because people will have more money than you and they're going to get a better position than you. And 2 is if you have enough, man, why wouldn't you want someone to just put in $5 trillion? You know what I mean? So I think it's time, right? Everything took 2 years. We need the system to stay consistent. You can't pump something so early and then say, yeah, it's the best. No, you can't. You can only say it is what it is when it is what it is. So when we have the 2 years of Pulse Chain under our belt, of consistency, good communities, more projects being run on, more consistency, which is what crypto is consistency. I know we all hate Bitcoin, but what's so consistent about Bitcoin? Well, every time it goes all the way down to the last
What about our streaming circus, though, that we have? Because I listened a bit to Nerd Girl the past couple of days. She seems to be on a media run right now, like she was on Dollar Cost Crypto last weekend, 2 days ago with Crypto Coffee. So I don't know why we're seeing so much of her lately, but she's back, and she's clearly saying, in a bit of a critiquing way, not all you guys should be live streamers, should be influencers, which is a bit, I don't know, I feel like she's just talking about us almost, because we clearly suck at this. But we are, for us, it's always like we've been very open about this, that we're just doing our thing, and we're doing this for the community, with the community. You've got the people in the chat, and we're not professional news broadcasters, and it's a grassroots thing. And we've always been very clear that we're just trying to do our best, and that's it. And if a channel or if a show is not successful, then people will stop watching it. Like, that is weeds out automatically. But I wouldn't say that we don't need more live streamers. I always thought the more the better, and the more noise we make out there on the YouTubes, the more eyes we can capture on Hex and Pulse Chain. What do you think?
Well, what do you think, Wild SJ? And by the way, fix your hair. I made her do it. I made her do it. Yes. Yeah.
How dare you?
we haven't heard from you lately. What's going on with you? Did you hear what DJ Cryptomatic laid out? What do you make of that before we go back to Famous?
Yeah, I think her sentiment was more that maybe not everybody's quite cut out for that, and I think it was coming from a position in her own view, because she was kind of talking about how she had done that and it wasn't her thing, because she's more of a writer. So for her, putting content out means writing well and doing that, right? So maybe, like, I feel like that's the context that I took it in, was not necessarily that we don't need more influencers, but that not everyone is cut out to do that,
to be an influencer,
video, like broadcasting like we're doing, right? Like, I don't think she was slighting anyone or talking about anybody specifically. I think it was more coming from a place of, do what you're good at, right? Like, if you're not good at public speaking, you get really, you jam up in front of a camera or whatever, like, then maybe this is not the thing that you're supposed to be doing. Maybe it's
right.
back end development, or maybe it's like, coding, something else, that security, right? Like, maybe that's what you're supposed to be doing within the community. Yeah. That was kind of how I took that when she mentioned that.
But Hexelina pulls a lot. She also had a tweet just yesterday where she kind of repeated that. She said the same thing. We need more engineers, more technicians, more builders in the community, rather than more live streamers and influencers.
I mean, I still think it goes both ways. I think that we can have all, if that's your passion, if that's what you're good at, then do that thing, right? But we definitely do need more engineers. We need more people doing back-end development. Like, absolutely we do. So it's, I kind of agree with both sides of the argument.
Famous, what do you think?
I think she's right, but I don't think the word influencer is the right word, because I think like or maybe
wait, what is that crunching?
No, I was.
What are you doing?
Well, you guys. I was just picking up something, but no. What I was saying is, no, wow, this mic must be so fucking so sensitive. But anyways,
no, it's good.
What I was saying is more like people need to stop thinking that a streamer is necessarily the person to go for financial advice, right? So the way for you, obviously, when you're DJing Cryptomatic, I don't think people are going there for the charts. You know what I mean? It's you're DJing. You know what I mean? Like, no one can ever look at you and say, "You rugged me, man. You while you were spinning that track, you got me to buy that." No, they can't do that, right? But when people
they come for the music and the entertainment that I'm trying my best to bring. Yeah, same as here.
But we need more streamers like that, where it's like we need more people to represent and get out there what it is, right? So what is Hex? Hex is a lifestyle. I think we say it's a crypto, but I think Hex is a lifestyle, because if your money is in the bank, well, your money's in the bank. That's a lifestyle. If your money is in cash in a shoebox, well, it's in a shoebox. That's a lifestyle. So if your money is in crypto, that is technically a lifestyle. As much as people want to say no, it's not. No, it's a lifestyle. I chose to do this, and I'm choosing to live my life like this, right? To say I want freedom, I want to have freedom of speech, freedom of movement. I want these things. That's a lifestyle. So I think we need to have more people explain their lifestyle and how do they use hex. Right now, it's unfortunate that most of our geolocation viewers are in a place where their lifestyle isn't isn't available as much as other people in the world. Like myself, I could tell you that people, myself, Elmeyer, anyone who's not being succumbed to this engagement of crypto, they could say I have a lifestyle with crypto. I could choose to do what I want with this. I could go and be free. I could go buy food. I could go to the amusement park. I could go buy a car. I could go buy a house. I could show you this. I think people need to show more, but it's also hard because you don't want to dox yourself. But they need to show more. How does crypto help you? Because that could impact people, right? How does crypto help you to stay home as a stay-at-home mom? How does crypto help you as an engineer or as a dentist? How could that help? We don't hear that. We don't see that. I don't think it's more about professionals. I think it's more about the lifestyle of Hex, because as soon as we see people and their lifestyle, it's hard to get addicted to it at first, but you always become part of the family because we understand that it's more than just you want to make money. You're utilizing Hex to be part of something greater than just money. And that's what we as Hexicans, from what I understand, that's what we thrive for, is to show people that, listen, you could stop drinking. Well, I'm a big ironic of this because I drink and smoke, but you could stop doing what you think is wrong and you could focus on the positive, and you have a better life to live, and you have the options to say, you know what, let me wake up today. I don't have to worry about this because I'm doing this with this, but I'm also able to take this and go ahead and get the things I need to do in order to improve myself, my health, my life, the people around me, my environment, my mentality. You could utilize crypto for that. So I think we need more people to show people how to, and that's with crypto, right? Because you don't have to steal your money. You don't have to worry about, I can only bring 10,000 cash to the airport if I want to move. There's a lot of things people don't think about that will affect if you're trying to be more free, if you're trying to be more decentralized, if you're trying to open your wings and spread out. If you want to stay in Kansas City and just stay there for your whole life, or Montreal City, and you just want to stay there your whole life, then yeah, of course, crypto won't help you.
Yeah.
So, what's up,
Toby is in Kansas City.
I'm just saying Kansas City because it's just Kansas City,
Don't be bashing on Oklahoma, bro.
No, but I think my main motivation for this streaming stuff is like, I care so much about this community and this cryptocurrency, and that's why I don't want it to die away and fade away into obscurity because nobody's talking about it, and I want to help beat that drum of always keeping it present in people's minds and people's heads, because that's how most cryptocurrencies, which I know we are not comparing us to any of these cryptos from the Promise Coin space, but most of them died off because eventually people stopped talking about it. And I just want to play my little part that I can in keeping that Hex stream alive. That is pretty much my main motivation for doing it.
I think the only concern is people must understand that whoever they like to listen to has always their own biases, their own opinion, and not everyone is in the know about everything. So there's no point in actually taking advice of a single stream or two or three. You should actually listen to multiple opinions before committing to something. Even when I speak on the Telegram chat and try to answer people's direct questions, I will tell them that this is what I believe. Maybe you should go listen to second opinion. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm giving you the wrong information because I'm not aware of something new that came up. So you should always be skeptical about what you listen from someone else, and be skeptical about someone saying, okay, what I say is true and you don't need to go anywhere else. No, you should listen to multiple opinions, I don't like to say do your own research because most people don't know how to do it, but at least go look for it. Go find other people with other opinion, see what they have to say, why do they believe what they believe. And if you collect a bunch of information, you can then reach a better conclusion for yourself.
Very good. And Peter, we haven't heard anything from you today. What the hell's going on with you? Before we get to Toby.
I'm just listening.
All right. And there you go. So I guess
Me?
And you've had it.
Little old me? Is it my turn?
Go ahead, DJ.
Almost. Just want to say shout out to Nerd Girl, though. I love her, and I really appreciate her contributions to all parts of Twitter and streaming and whatever and the articles that she writes, and always trying. She does behind the scenes a lot of stuff that people don't see what she's doing, but she is pushing for us behind the scenes. So I really appreciate that. And I thought it was a very powerful statement, and I was dwelling the past 2 days talking about us.
Let me add. She actually DM'd me, and she was actually talking specifically about me.
There you go.
She was like, everyone else is great. She goes, Toby was the tipping point.
But this
she
guy...
goes, that's one streamer too many. That guy is on stream too much now. We need to reel it back in.
But it's okay because we've got him reeled in to a segment that we lovingly call
been compartmentalized.
Let's go.
Oh wow. Yeah. It just reminded me that I should never grow that beard back. But hello. So let's do a little quick TA rundown. I know we don't have a whole lot of time. I do want to say hey to Famous real quick and to SJ because it's a pleasure to be on with them both.
Good day.
Famous and I have had some we've done some deep dive conversations. It's been a minute. We need to catch up, but good to see you on. I enjoyed the stream prior to my appearance. So I'll try to keep the energy up. So we've got a descending magenta, pink, fuchsia, whatever color you want to call it. Hot pink. I've been referring to it lately as
magenta.
Magenta. We'll go magenta. Okay. So we got the magenta descending parallel channel that's been playing out now since May. It looks like end of May. Yep. So we got our hits up here in May. I believe it was May 20th. Come down to the bottom, rode along the bottom, wicked below a bit, rode along the bottom, tried to get up to midline, back down to the bottom. Well, that's kind of a little outlier here with a close, below, but it was a big long-legged doji. So whenever you have a doji like this, just a little FYI, you got a long leg on the top, a long leg on the bottom. That is a giant indecision candle, which is like, which way do we go? I don't know. So on this one, luckily, we tested again low with a wick here. And then we started off to the upside, rode down to the bottom. And what's interesting is this is a good example in this second candle where this wick went down to. A lot of times when you get a wick, it's a little bit of a heads up of like, can we go there? And then the pattern will be like, yep, we can go there. So it'll usually play out in that direction the next few days. So now we bounced off the bottom. We got this nice little run up. We broke the top of the channel. That also is resistance at the 1 penny mark. So we wicked above.
What currency are we looking at here? What chain is it on?
The wrong one.
This is
the right one.
Peter, the wrong chain.
This is HEX.
HEX, thank you. Continue, please.
Yes, sir. Yep. So I always do HEX. P-Hex, Pulse, and PulseX are coming. They're not ready quite for prime time yet. I play around with them a little. The problem is with any kind of TA, you want a fair amount of history, right? Because all of it's backward looking. You're guessing what the future might hold based on patterns from the past.
Peter's backwards looking.
Right. And here, like I've got all these numbers lit up in green and orange and red. Those are horizontals that are tied way back to 2 years ago, potentially. Some of them, that far back, maybe not quite as far back, that give you indications of support and resistance levels. So you really have a lot more material to work with to get an idea of, where we might be meeting support and resistance. So I'm working on them. I've got some stuff, but to me, it's way more of like you're throwing a dart and trying to guess. This kind of gives me a sentiment generally because as goes Hex, everything else is kind of doing the same thing, right? It's like they're all kind of moving up and down together, maybe not exactly, but it gives me a general sentiment of direction. So that's why I've focused primarily on HEX for now, but I will be doing some prime time exposure of the Pulse tokens and even Ink. So they're coming. Wow. But so anyhow, so we popped up here to the top. We wicked above the line, tried to break it. That's also a horizontal resistance at 1 cent, which is also a psychological support level. So we tried to get there, broke back down, rode this quarter line. So I've got the green midline. I've got a yellow quarter hash line, right? So we like just kind of rode along that quarter line, tried to wick above again yesterday, and now we've got this guy, which is also called a hanging man. And typically that is bearish. However, this, I think, because we're right at that line again and we're testing lower, I think I'm a permable, but I mean, I have a feeling that we could get a breakout here and get up here and test the 21 EMA, which is this yellow line, which is back to 1 cent.
I'm a squinty old man.
Yes.
Where is your cursor, for God's sake? What are you pointing at? You're saying this and that.
Oh,
Fancy
got it.
shit.
Yeah. You know what? I had this problem on Maddie's stream the other night. It's like my cursor is not showing up on the share.
Your cursor is small, Toby Wan. It is small.
It's a tiny little pointer.
Tiny cursor. I curse your cursor.
So yeah, so I can either kill the share and reshare and see if maybe it pops up. If not, you guys can
I don't
just
see
kind
the
of,
cursor.
You see the cursor? Perfect.
I know. I don't.
No, nobody sees. I'm looking at the YouTube stream now, and I don't see this cursor either. So let me kill the screen share, and we'll start it again and see if maybe it'll pick it up. I don't know what's going on with. I think it might be a Firefox thing.
Bring it back. Play back the entire message.
Do it again. Okay, I can go from the top if you guys really want to hear it.
No. It's a Star Wars quote. The Star Wars quote. Stop it. Just bring it back and see if we get the cursor.
Oh,
we should change it to.
Thank you. Exactly.
We should change the segment to debugging with Toby.
I see a cursor.
Every week
there
it's
it is.
something
Yay! All right, cursor's back.
Every
Man,
week it's
I
something
don't know.
else. Can I
don't
just
know
say
if OBS
credit,
would help
Toby,
with this.
credit where it's due. You called this bottom, the 007, the
No, my
James
cursor went away.
Bond.
What the hell?
You called that like a boss, where we always thought, oh my God, it's not going to go to 007. That's never going to happen. And damn right, it was even 668 or 669. I caught
a 00666 on a limit order.
Yeah, I
I
thank you very much. I got filled on your 007 though. I was very happy.
There you
with
go.
That.
I see Famous with his hand up. He's being polite.
Yes, Famous.
Yeah, but being very polite, trust me. But I wanted to ask you: do you think we could take with another zero could come off of Pulse or Pulse X?
Man, that's a good question. I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of the shakeouts happened already. My general sentiment is that, no one wants to sell at their sack rate, right? And people that are in the upper tiers, we're still at about a 2x on Pulse, right? So it's possible that we have a 50% move down from here if people just get shaken out. I know people that have. And just were like, fuck it, I'm out. It's been 2 years. It's like, I'll take my 100% gain and I'm done. And then I know other people that thought that way, and then they turned around and bought back in, and kind of many wrecked themselves because they were selling, hoping they could buy back lower. So it's with Pulse X, we're already below the sack rate for pretty much anybody. So I don't see that one is going to go down. That might have been kind of our leader to show us potentially what's possible. Pulse, I think, because it is the coin of the L1, maybe that holds us up, maybe, So, I mean, I think we could be at a floor here, pretty much across the board. I think we've got a pretty good rejection from those lower levels on EHEX and establishing that ratio between EHEX and HEX on Pulse chain. So I don't know, man. I would like to think this is the bottom, but the bear is not quite done with us, nor is the bull in full swing. I feel like we're a little bit in a limbo period as things kind of gradually start to move into bull.
And could you reassure Hans here that this is not meant to be traded on, but what's the motivation for looking at the TA?
Oh, for the chart? Yeah, basically the whole reason I do the chart is to kind of keep people from freaking out, right? Because it's like when you see a big red candle day, you're like, oh God, it's going to zero. Get me out of here. It's like, it's too, and then they just like hit the panic button and they're out, right? So that's kind of the motivation, is to let people know where we're expected to bounce or have some support. It also has good indications of maybe where a good time to DCA in. So, if you're DCAing every day, not financial advice, but it's like, if DCA is your mode, if you could have a little more information, have an educated DCA, I think that's better, right? So I've been buying all along these bottoms, and it's worked out pretty well for me. And then on the converse, if you think it's going to meet some stiff resistance and you are a trader and you want to try to get out, those would be places to get out. Or if you're trying to just scale out, maybe you're in profit and you've been in since day 2, and you're just like, you know what, this has worn me out, and it's not as much profit as it was at all-time highs, but I'm still in profit, and I want to take some money off the table. It does give some indications of where those might be good spots to do that. Personally, I think it would be silly to sell at these levels, but not.
Why are we seeing so much emergency unstaking though on the Ethereum side? There's like millions of penalties every day. Are they trying to run and hop on this Bitcoin run that just started, or are they trading it for whole stakes?
I think that's cooled off. I mean, according to Crispy and Hexfire.io, I think that has cooled off. It was pretty fast and furious. I think a lot of that was around the time that Pulse launched. Also, when Richard had the EHEX, Richard had the EHEX PHEX pair up as well. So I think that incentivized some people to jump ship and come over and farm for the Ink token.
That's 600%. That's 600%. Like at 6, well, how much was it at? 900, I think it was 800. No, and then it went down. But at that much, even if you EES and get 30-40% of your ES, you still outperform and get it all back, and
bingo.
And you can get
just
more.
Math. It's just math.
The
and then it's like a big payday. It's also like a big payday too, right? Like if you think about it, like, well, how much did people get on big payday? So they could be not greedy and say, listen, I'll thank you, Richard. I'll take another big payday.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how some people could see it, because that's a lot of money too. When you think about what they did, it's money.
Yeah, but when you say millions are being unstaked, so the average for the unstaking on the past month was like, according to the data from Crispy, it's about 2.8 million per day, and it has been trending down even before the fork happened. And if you look at today's numbers, actually there are more penalties on Pulse Chain than on Ethereum right now.
Like on Pulse Chain too, less, but on Pulse Chain too.
You have 100,000 penalties today for Pulse Chain and only 58,000. And to me, these numbers are so low that like a small account can have those penalties. It's like, this is not significant numbers. 58,000 X is like what? Not even 100.
No, but yesterday the total amount of penalties was 2.3 million. That's a lot. Just the penalties. So to get to that must be even more that is being unstaked.
If you go through the history, 2.3 million is below the medium value for the emergency and stakes from like the past year or something.
Okay, so nothing to see here.
Well, it's part of the game, but it's part of a game. It is part of the game. It is part of the game too, because there's the factor that people never consider, which is the big guys who understand that when there's the supply and there's an amount of T-shares, you have to play with both of that. So like your competition, you could screw them, or you should be taking advantage now, because now is the time to one up on your competition, and that's how they see it. And you could see accounts, and you have to do really a long time on the blockchain on Etherscan to look, and you could see that they're okay. This guy is actually competing with these 10 guys, and then we should maybe draw this like diagraph. And I can't wait till someone does that, because there is competition on a level of, I would say, dolphins, sharks, and big boys. But like, you know what I mean? I think there is a level of competition, and we don't see it if you're not on there, or people don't want to talk about it because it's something to not really talk about to the guy who says, I have $100. You know what I mean?
Guys, we have a 1 hour format show. We're almost up against it. I think it's time for closing comments. Everybody, let's go around and say your last. Let's get the fuck out of here. Crypto?
No, I want to hear from that's Jay about the Seattle meetup. What can you give us some info on that?
Yeah, so we're already starting to meet up tonight, Thursday night. Steve, I think, is hosting kind of this little thing. He's picking up a couple people from the airport, and we're going to go to the Space Needle. Tomorrow night, we're doing Top Golf. And then Saturday is the main event. RG is going to be here. RH Max is speaking. And Triplet Dad is going to, I think, open for us. And
Valley of Bran?
Bran, unfortunately, he's got a family gig on Saturday. He won't make it. But I think he might be at Top Golf. He might be. There's another little meetup thing I think we're doing the day after as well. So Seattle's going to be a lot. If you're in this PNW area at all, I know there are a lot of people coming up from Portland. That went to the Portland meetup that said they're coming up to Seattle. So
Don't be
it's
clicky
Saturday.
clack. Come on, mute yourself.
Oh,
Clickety clacking, Toby. Mute yourself when you're clickety clacking.
And are you going to the famous fish market though? You have to go to the Seattle fish market
Place,
where they throw the fish around across the hall. That's where you should
apparently
have
that starts at 6:30. I should have gone this morning. But maybe,
it's only in the
maybe
morning.
I'll go tomorrow and do some video there. I walked by it the other day, but it was closed. So I'll have to go early in the morning and check it out. And
Cool.
So come out to Seattle if you guys are in this area. Come have a good time. Buy your tickets on pulsechaintour.com.
Yep, Famous. I see you've got your toilet paper already. Would you like to wipe it on up for us?
Oh man, now listen, guys. Give me a second, man. Over here, where I am, you just want to take it outside. You know what I mean? I got the staples. It's not. Look at the view. Actually, I don't think we show people the view. Let me see the view. Can you see the view like this?
Nice.
I've never seen such a mountain range and white houses before.
That's beautiful.
Oh, look at that. They're getting mad at me because I'm not quiet. I'm right next to the golf course.
Never seen such a mountain range.
I'm coming to visit. That looks awesome.
Yeah, it's in Spain. So, Casa, where I'm in Manila. Yeah, it's cool.
Nice.
Beautiful area. I've been to Malaga. Been to Estepona. It's really nice. Yeah, I'm jealous.
And there's San Juan. There's San Juan on Saturday. So, what a perfect time to be stranded in Spain.
Barcelona and Madrid.
Barcelona, Madrid.
La Madrid.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, what
Madrid, you just scream.
On our way out, Famous, what do you got to say for us? Lay it on down. Tell us how to find you, all that other crap.
You can find me at cryptoThaFamous on Twitter. You could also go on hexdirect.com. You could go on hextolearn.com. You can go on crypto2learn.com. And you could also go on hexproperty.com. And we're going to have a lot of content for that coming soon. That's going to be a big focus for the next 6 months, guys. We're going to be showing you guys your options. We're going to be putting options on the table. How to, like I said, like my goal is how can we use crypto and how can we use crypto for our lives. So hopefully everyone appreciates it. I hope everyone tries. And if anyone does, I'm always here. We're starting it now. So yeah, hexproperty.com, and I'll be on Spaces. Just summer, baby. I hope everyone has a wonderful summer. Please take care of yourself, your mental, your health. Everything is important. Don't look at me. I'm drinking beer. I'm smoking. That is something you should not do. Take care of yourself. And just love yourself, love your family, be positive, and this is what it's all for. Remember, guys, just take care of yourself. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
Lovely.
Thank you very much. Follow Famous on Twitter and check out his websites. The links are down below in the description. I guess that's it for today. We got 125 people.
One thing that has to be said on the way out.
Watching.
Just one thing.
Smash the likes. Papa B says one thing.
Just one thing, because I've seen him like a dog with a bone. It's a Crypto King in the chat. Believes that I have not acknowledged that he has a new hardware wallet that he just got gifted to him from the boys at Bitbox. It's the Bitbox V2. I would be more than happy. I would be more than happy to review it because I remember the Bitbox V1 way back when, and I saw an extensive video with the CEO of the company, and I am very interested in taking a look at that. So we'll be doing that soon, and yes, it will be published on B9 website as well as soon as that launches. Correct. Thank you very much for that.
Cool. All right.
Thanks, guys. Fun to be on. If anybody wants more TA, you can always check it out. I do a daily update on Twitter. It's at Toby1_Hexobi. I'm looking, if we break out from here, I'm looking at 2 cents. So a little moon math for everybody on the way out. So.
And Wild SJ disappears and
appeared.
And reappears. How you doing?
SJ, hang out in the green room. I need to talk to you for a second.
Yeah, that's live video is exactly when you say that.
Wild
SJ,
if she runs away, I don't have a chance, Papa. Jesus.
Anything else from our less than frequent guest, SJ? You want to say goodbye to everybody and give the goodbye kiss to everybody? There you go.
Aww.
Thank you.
Goodbye,
everybody. Nothing else.
And to take us out, we're going to play the latest jam by Westcott Crypto. See you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.
See ya.
Hey, the price ain't high, but I'm holding on. I'm holding till we're numb. ourselves on a 2X. Oh no, it sucks buying the tops and holding for the bear, but all that you can do is DCA with me. Oh, I'm watching KDP, I'm watching, I've been on tech. You know the price ain't high, but I'm holding on. I'm holding till we're number one. Number one. Number one. Gary Gensler wants to flood our bags, but if you hold your keys, you shouldn't be concerned. I got off Coinbase, I'm getting off of Binance. You know the price ain't high, but I'm holding on. I'm holding till we're number one. Number one. Number one.
Outro.